Number two, most of women doing this and talking about this stuff, these are women who've already been married multiple times, got a bunch of kids all over the place.
Three men are for women that are middle age, women that men have shown shaggy. This 23 men is not for younger women. This man is saying that if you're a young woman, you should not be thinking about the century men. You should be focusing about your spirituality, how to bring out the feminine energy in you. Let me show you this video.
Number two, most of women doing this and talking about this stuff, these are women who've already been married multiple times, got a bunch of kids all over the place. You see what I'm saying? Like they've already been through like the critical years when you really want to have a partner and a mate. You see what I'm saying? And now they've gone through that. They're jaded. They didn't get what they want, whatever. And now they're talking about decentering. So what I'm saying that to say, like, there's a certain demographic and age group of women where this stuff is not going to really apply. They're not trying to hear this. That's why there's also a separate movement out where women are like, we're not listening to these older women. Fuck what y'all are talking about. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're living our own lives. You see what I'm saying? You all are jaded and this and that. We're going to do our own thing. So there's multiple movements. The general premise of the decentering thing is fine for me. I think it's great. Again, I think everybody should focus on themselves and center themselves. That's just, to me, sanity. The fact that men is in the title, I think, is insanity. And again, it's easier to do that when a lot of women, like I said, they're in their mid to late 30s and 40s and 50s talking about this stuff. And of course, you're going to be able to do it because you already got kids and divorces and shit like that. But these younger women, they don't need to be taught to decenter men. They need to be taught about sexual freedom and sexual empowerment. They need to be taught about, you know what I'm saying, what feminine energy is and how to utilize it. They need to be taught about, you know, how to deal with the masculine and cultivate, you know, family and community and healthy relationships. They need to be talking about that stuff. The decentering stuff is more of like women who've been hurt. Like, even in the explanation you read, it's like women who've been hurt and kind of moving away from the hurt. No, just focus on yourself. Whatever that entails, focus on yourself.
I think that any woman that decides to decenter men, or any woman that is actually advising younger girls on how to choose wisely when it comes to being in a relationship with a man, how to identify red flags from a man. They feel like if you're a woman and you're doing something like that and you're probably above 30, you're a bitter woman. You're a woman that a man never settled for you, and you're angry at men because you could not get the kind of man that you want. So you're trying to advise younger girls to be like you, or you don't want any your younger girls, or you're jealous of them so that they're not going to find a good man. Or, you know, they just feel like any woman that is actually advising a younger woman about men, how to identify red flags, how to decenter men, how to love themselves, they feel like you're a bitter woman. They feel like you're a terrible person, and you should not be advising younger girls about relationship. You guys, let me show you some reaction on this video, and I'll see you at the end of the video. Let me know thought about this video down in the comment section, respectfully, as always.
Most of women doing this and talking about this stuff, these are women who've already been married multiple times, got a bunch of kids all over the place. They're jaded, they didn't get what they want, whatever, and now they're talking about decentering. These younger women, they don't need to be taught to decenter men. They need to be taught about sexual freedom and sexual empowerment. They need to be taught about, you know what I'm saying, what feminine energy is and how to utilize it.
Label a woman as bitter any and every time she tries to warn other women about making a man the center of her life. Go back to the old days, women were desperate and needed to be with one of them in order to survive. Women don't need that anymore. Women don't have to put up with the mistreatment. They don't have to put up with the weaponized incompetence, the malicious compliance, being a married single mom. A lot of these women wish somebody had warned them, and that's what they're trying to do. Before you marry the man, before you spend your 20s and 30s raising his kids and taking care of his home, and he trades you in for a younger model. And here you are at 35, 40, 50, 60 years old, having to start all over with an entry-level job because you haven't worked in years, no credit history, no rental history. Forced to start over from scratch, and he never missed a beat. Not every woman has an auntie, big sister, or mom to warn her about some of these men. So they come online and share their stories. But y'all want to label them as bitter because they're making younger women hip to your games. They're harder to manipulate these days because they're learning from their aunties and big sisters online. Knows that some of you are looking for a nurse with a purse to take care of you in your old age. She understands that one of the reasons why you're pursuing her is because the women your own age don't want you. You're not mad that older women are making younger women bitter. You're mad that older women are making younger women better. You can only win when the game is rigged, and women like me are leveling the playing field.
how to utilize it. You need to be taught about, how to deal with the masculine and cultivate, family and community and healthy relationships. You need to be talking about that stuff. The decentering stuff is more of like women who've been hurt, like even in the explanation you read, like women who've been hurt and kind of moving away from the hurt. But no, just focus on yourself. Whatever that entails, focus on yourself.
The one thing that I want to start off by mentioning was the very first thing that he named in the list of things that women should be focusing on. Whenever men say the first thing on a list, it's the thing that means the most importance to them. He said that women that are young, they should be focusing on sexual liberation. What does that tell you about this man's intention behind why he made this video? He wants access to sleeping with young women because he no longer has access to sleep with women that are around this age because they've had experiences with men. Because one thing that he did not do, he did not dismiss these women's experiences. He's just too cowardly to admit the reason why they are making Decentering Men content is because of the experiences that are all being shared with men being the common denominator. So he's admitting the fact that women are getting married multiple times and having the same experiences with men. Women are having children with men and having these repeated poor experiences. He's admitting the fact that the reason why Decentering Men content is made by older women and not younger women is because younger women haven't experienced it yet. And he's literally saying that women should be taught the same exact things that the older women were already taught. Sexual liberation, feminine energy. When men say feminine energy, all they're talking about is that women need to be taught how to be a wife, how to be a slave. Whenever a man mentions feminine energy, he's talking about women need to be taught how to be submissive, cook, clean, and shut the fuck up and have her legs open whenever he wants it. That's what they mean when they say feminine energy. It's just the same tricks. Same tricks over and over. You cannot teach an old dog new tricks. All they do is just use word salad to try to stay in the current time to be able to have the same talking point. Weaponizing women's ages against one another to create competition. Decentering men is centering yourself, doing whatever the fuck you want to do. Wearing a face full of makeup, despite all the complaints about men on the internet saying that they like natural women and they don't like wearing makeup. Wearing a wig, despite the fact men say that they want women with natural hair. Getting a BBL, despite men saying that they like quote-unquote natural bodies. Deciding to go get a college education, despite men saying that they don't like women that have a college education. When you're decentering men, you're simultaneously centering yourself. He's trying to try to seem like it's a good faith argument, and he's trying to leave that part out, as if you can simultaneously decenter men, as if you cannot decenter men and simultaneously center yourself. That's the fucking point. You cannot center yourself as a woman and have a man in the picture to the most highest amount of value. He is pleading on the internet, pretty much asking for pussy. That's really what this is. Oh my God, these older women, they're over here exposing men because they have bad experiences and they're jaded. Please, young women, don't listen to them because I'm in a drought and I can't sleep with anybody and I need you to be stupid and I need you to be unaware and I need you to be uneducated about male nature. That way I have the opportunity to sleep with you. That's all this is. It is just repackaged to fit the current climate of the content that's out, without trying to make him sound like he's begging for sex, because that's all this is. That's all this is. It was 2 minutes of, please sleep with me. It was 2 minutes of, don't listen to what these women are telling you because I want to have access to your body.
Targets are women that are very young, they're very naive, women that you can easily deceive and tell, sit down here for the rest of the day. They want a woman that they will tell them to shut up and open your legs, and she's going to shut up and open your legs. They want someone that will say, sit down and don't move from this place until I'm back from work. That's kind of woman that they want. They don't want, because they know that women are in their maybe late 20s or and early 30s are women that have discovered their tracts, their manipulative tracts. And the fact that it cannot work for us again, they are so pained, and they are trying to discourage younger girls not to listen to us. You see them saying that, oh, they are bitter women, they are women, most of them, they want you to be single just like them, they want you to be miserable just like them, and all of that. Don't listen to women like that. If you watch, you don't have any man in their life. If you watch, they are single with their cats. You know, they just try to convince the younger girls not to listen to us because probably we are bitter and we are trying to tell them the wrong thing, or we're trying to make them to be single just like us. Always try to encourage women being in their feminine energy, women being feminine, or women have to be soft. Just don't do anything, don't talk back at your partner. When he does something that is not wrong, you have to be submissive, you have to be quiet, because a virtuous woman, you know, they always try to say all those things to younger girls and try to make them feel like what these middle-aged women are doing and telling you to decenter men is a terrible decision. Century man is you not century man in your life. You not thinking about what a man thinks before you do anything. You don't think about what you don't care. You don't care what they think. Oh, men do not like. What's your business? I like it, so I am doing it for myself. You don't care. You're not doing it for their attention. You're not doing it for their validation. You don't even care if they like it. In fact, the fact that because they don't like it, that is why you're even doing it. The century man is focusing on yourself, centering your life, getting to know who you are, what you want in life, loving yourself, putting yourself first in anything, choosing your own peace. That is you centering your life. But the century man is not that you have to hate men or you should not be in a relationship with any man. You can even be married and also be the century man. You can decenter men even while you're married, even while you're in a relationship with a man. I feel like the best way for you to enjoy relationship with a man and is for you to decenter them, because if you're centering your life all around them, even while you're in a relationship with them, you're going to have heartache. I just feel like you're going to have heartache. The moment you decenter men, the moment you've gotten to the stage whereby you have decenter men, you cannot center them in your life again because you realize they are not even useful. Anyway, you guys, what's your take on this video? Let me know your thought about this video down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, Sugar Mary Davidson. Thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one, guys. Bye.